Hello, everyone. Tiffany here. Welcome back to Confluently, the podcast where we embrace the messy, the chaotic intersections of life and growth. Today's episode is deeply personal. It's not just about reflecting on 2024. It's about holding that space for the wins, the losses, and the messy in-betweens. And it's also okay to not be okay. Because let me tell you, if life has taught me anything this year, it's that growth doesn't come wrapped in a pretty bow. It comes through being stretched to the max and still finding ways to show up. So let's take a moment to breathe, reflect, and set that tone for 2025. Honestly, 2024 was a shit show for me, a roller coaster, actually. Like, hold on tight, pants on fire, pray you don't fly out of the ride type of thing. I've been forced to do freelancing jobs because, let's face it, the job market is rough right now. I'm balancing 2 mortgages, 3-year-old twins, a son in college, some medical complications, and a dog who somehow thinks that he's human. It's chaos. It is a circus. And on top of that, I decided to take the leap and start this podcast. There are moments this year where I honestly questioned everything. Finances, they were tight. Relationships, personal and professional, were stretched thin. Networks that I had relied on for years felt somewhat distant. Some days I felt like one wrong step in the wrong direction and everything was going to start collapsing. But there's this thing. When you're standing in the depths of hell, you have 2 choices. You can let the fire consume you, or you can fight like hell to climb out. Starting this podcast was my fight. It was my way of taking a risk that I had been afraid to take for many years. But that old saying is, I'm not going to let life break me. I'm going to give every ounce of this pain, this resilience, this punishment, and turn it into a purpose, is what happened. And here we are. So with that, here's what 2024 has taught me. It's taught me that resilience isn't about having your shit all together. It's about surviving the chaos and still finding something worth holding on to. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that balance is a myth. Some days I feel like I'm crushing it. I've got everything together. The kids are done. I've showed up for them. I'm hitting my deadlines. It's wonderful. And other days, I'm just trying to keep everybody alive and fed and maybe marginally sane. We'll give that a 50-50. There was a day this year, actually, that everything kind of really hit me all at once. Bills, rejection letters, deadlines, my son calling, talking about his car's not working from California. I turn around and my twins are literally drawing on the walls in permanent marker. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to quit everything all at the same time. But I didn't quit. I couldn't quit. Failure isn't an option. There is no pause button in this game called life. Instead, I reminded myself of my mantra: keep moving and do not take residence up in hell. Like Finding Nemo said, just keep swimming. So that's my takeaway for you. When life feels like it's too much, just keep moving. Even if it's one tiny step forward, even if it's messy, even if you're crawling, do not stop. So as we reflect on this year, I wanted you to take kind of a moment and answer these questions. There are 3 questions. They're not too hard, I hope. One is, what is the thing you're most proud of this year? 2, what are the things that you're really willing to really leave behind in 2024? And 3, what are the risks that you're willing to take in 2025? Now, this wouldn't be fair if I didn't also answer these questions. So for me, I'm really proud of starting this podcast. It's a risk that I took when really everything felt uncertain. It's connected me to so many of you. And what am I leaving behind? The need to prove myself to people who don't value me or don't bring value into my life. And the risk that I'm taking, oh, I'm dreaming bigger than ever, even when it scares the ever-loving shit out of me, even when others can't see it. I'm reminded of a quote. If you don't sacrifice for what you want is that sacrifice. You have to just make that choice. Now, with that out of the way, let's focus on the future. Let's talk about 2025. I'm going to tell you something that most people don't say out loud. None of us know what this next year is going to bring, okay? For better or for worse. But what we can control is how we approach it. I want us to walk into 2025, courage, curiosity, and compassion, not only for ourselves, but for others around us. So be kind. If there's one thing I've learned from the stories that I've shared and the people that I've met on this podcast, is that every struggle, every setback, every broken moment of potential, it transforms us if we let it. So let's take the lessons from 2024, let's carry them with us, let's leave that baggage behind, and let's choose those audacious dreams, no matter how scary they may seem. If you've been waiting for permission to take that leap, then here's your sign. I'm hitting the button. Like Nike said, let's just do it, all right? And with that, I want to say that every experience, every misstep, every success, it's really shaping who you are, who we are. And the best part is the story isn't over yet. I really want to hear your reflections and your goals for 2025. I will be there to help cheer you on and will respond to each and every one of those messages. Until then, keep fighting, keep moving, and keep embracing this intersection of your life. Till then, stay resilient, and I'll see you next time.